Warning: this is not a spoiler-free video. Do not watch this if you have not seen Avatar yet. Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago. Okay, we all know where this is going. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the most influential cartoons of our generation.
Fine, but did you know that Avatar started airing on Nickelodeon back in 2005? It even premiered as the highest rated animated series in its demographic and continued to air for 3 seasons.
I mean, that's why we're critiquing Avatar today, right? The opening is so distinct and recognizable because of how revolutionary the series has been. It changed the way people both view and create cartoons.
We're probably biased because we grew up with it, but we can't deny how well made Avatar was. Rewatching it now, we get to notice subtle details and themes that went right over our heads.
But whether you're there to appreciate the intricacy of its plotlines, the depth of its characters, or the beauty of its consistent animation, you end up invested in this world beyond ours.
Are you guys done? You really need to start the...
Anyway, welcome to the ELEMELONS, where we critique different films and TV series. Today we're going to discuss Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm Marga.
I'm Charlize.
I'm Meridith.
I'm Marianne.
And I'm Petty. Avatar: The Last Airbender is a fantasy and comedy animated series by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. They created Avatar after their original pitch to Nickelodeon Studios was rejected, deciding to mix the coming-of-age series that they wanted to create with the legend and lore-based show that the studio demanded.
The important thing about Avatar's creation was how the creators didn't want to oversimplify heavier topics, such as war and loss, simply because Nickelodeon's target demographic was children. They understood that storytelling builds empathy when it respects the intelligence of the audience.
Avatar was meant to tell a story that injected reality into fantasy, that made an impact on the youth and would stick with them as they grow older.
Having watched the show when I was younger, I remember vividly that I would discuss the latest episodes with my older brother. I'd like to think that I understood what was going on even if it was only at the simplest level, and I only have more respect for it watching it again now. There are so many messages and themes woven into Avatar. It's amazing how much thought went into the production of a cartoon series.
First, we have the impact of war on people and society. The Southern Water Tribe is the least developed area in the series, especially in comparison to their sister tribe in the north, an established kingdom with a working economy and developed architecture. In the face of war and development, not all nations are able to survive and catch up. We also get to see from Katara and Sokka how the war has affected families, with their father fighting in the war halfway across the world and their mother killed by the Fire Nation when they were younger. These circumstances have shaped them into the people that they are, how they adapt and fill in the roles that their parents left. They make do with what family they have left. There are times that they fight or get in each other's business where they're not meant to. But that's the nature of siblings. That's how the audience connects and relates with their dynamic. We learn to accept that family is not always the perfect picture you envision it to be. But just because it's not, doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
Let me tell you, not pleasant! Katara, settle down! No, that's it. I'm done helping you. From now on your own!
In their war-torn world, Katara and Sokka have made a family of themselves and the friends that they have made along the way. As viewers, we are able to empathize and find hope in their situation.
On the other hand, Aang's character reminds us of the importance of preserving our culture. At the beginning, Aang grieves over the loss of his people, both in sadness and in anger. Despite the death of his mentor Monk Gyatso, the destruction of the Southern Air Temple, a place he had once called home,
and seeing the conversion of the Northern Air Temple into a Fire Nation armory.
They really are airbenders! No, they're not.
Aang upholds his Air Nomad philosophies until the very end as he decides to spare Fire Lord Ozai's life.
What did you do to me?
I took away your firebending. You can't use it to hurt or threaten anyone else ever again.
When Appa was taken away by sandbenders, Aang was distraught and restlessly searched for his companion. Appa was one of the few remnants of Aang's life as an air nomad, and with the production, animation, and writing, the creators were able to build the same emotion in the viewers, eliciting feelings of loss, desperation, and eventually, relief.
I'm sorry, Appa.
As the Avatar, Aang has had a lot of introspection and inner conflict to deal with. As a normal human being, as a 12-year-old kid, he carried the weight of keeping his culture alive. Culture continuously evolves because it is alive, because people keep it alive. In the wake of his people's genocide, Aang makes it a point to stay true to his culture 100 years later. In the same way, we must keep in touch with our roots despite globalization and the different advancements in society.
Toph was blind and even younger than Aang was, which was why her parents treated her like she was fragile and naive to the world around her. The Earth Kingdom reflected how distant people can be from reality, how isolated and oblivious they can be. People continued to live their lives normally through the 100-Year War because they themselves were unaffected. Toph broke free from being a sheltered noble, defying expectations at a young age and helping Aang learn earthbending in a way that is unique to her. Against her parents' will, she made a life for herself and helped other people live. Not only is she a call for the privilege to get off their high horse and take action, she is the embodiment of women empowerment and success despite her disability. When we see Toph in action, we learn that there is more to life than what other people think we can do. Aang's earthbending teacher was originally going to be older and male, but ultimately it was the choice to have Toph blind, young, and female that has kept her in the viewers' hearts.
Meanwhile, Zuko also had to fight for acknowledgement. Disowned by his father unless he proved his worth, he had to restore his own honor. His desperation for approval, the broken relationship he had with his father, the unhealthy rivalry with his sister.
Rise and fight, Prince Zuko.
I won't fight you.
You will learn respect, and suffering will be your teacher. I looked away.
These are things that allow the audience to empathize with his character. The scar on his face is not merely there for aesthetic value, but it is something that humanizes him. Zuko's character emphasizes the importance of mistakes, how they make us who we are, and how they shape the decisions we make in the future. This is what makes him the perfect anti-hero. This is why he strikes a chord in so many viewers. He shows us that the world is more gray than it is black and white, that being good is a choice, and that perhaps there will always be a way to get there in the end, even if it is a long and winding road.
All hail Fire Lord Zuko!
Of course, when we consume these types of media, it's not just about what messages we receive, but how we receive them. The reason Avatar did as well as it did is because of how much thought and attention to detail was put in.
First, we have to talk about the writing. The series balances comedy and drama with action and suspense. This gives viewers breathing room, allowing them to binge and watch the show continuously without feeling weighed down by heavy plot points, while still keeping them on the edge of their seats.
And there's the animation and design. The quality and consistency of Avatar's animation is what keeps people watching. It's pleasing and easy on the eyes to watch.
The show makes use of color to set the tone for each scene. As the series progressed, the coloring developed a darker tone, with the final episode laden in intense reds and oranges. This gave viewers a feeling of being swallowed up by flames, just as Aang struggles and fights against the Fire Lord.
The scoring in Avatar is amazing, with authentic Chinese and African instruments as well as real string sections. The scoring kept the scenes alive. It helps immerse viewers in each scene and helps set the mood that the creators wanted to convey. It can be somber or happy or build tension when necessary. There are times that we find our heartbeats following the rhythm of the background music, which is why viewers get easily caught up in the fast-paced scenes or feel antsy during suspenseful ones.
There's the little things too. In the last season, each member of the Avatar gang was dressed in Fire Nation outfits, but I found it symbolic that they reverted back to their respective outfits for the final fight against Ozai. They were each fighting on behalf of their nations. All 4 nations against one enemy. Additionally, Aang's last bending move in the series was also the first bending move that he learned with Katara. Everything comes full circle, and it's such an easily negligible detail, but it's there anyway. You have to wonder if everything in Avatar really follows the cycle. There's also heavy use of symbols and objects in the show. Katara has her mother's necklace, Sokka has his boomerang, Aang has his glider, and Zuko has his scar? This is because the creators wanted to create continuity throughout the series, and wanted to place significance in each character's actions. Katara's necklace and Zuko's scar can be traced back to their lingering feelings regarding their parents. When Sokka loses his boomerang, and when Aang breaks his glider, it marks a new chapter in their lives.
Avatar: The Last Airbender was realistic, despite all the fantastical, almost dystopian themes. This is how it elicited empathy from the viewers. Even though Avatar was ultimately created to satisfy a studio's demands and profit like most other forms of media, it was natural. It was created with the consideration of human nature, driven by real emotion and rooted in real culture to tell its story.
There may not be a 100-year war started by a nation of power-hungry firebenders, but the show awakens our inner sense of justice, calls for us to believe in the good in people just as Aang did. Avatar promotes love and hope, unity in diversity.
Avatar was able to convey its message through different means. The world building, the language, the scoring, and the visuals all had a part in how the audience was able to effectively receive the intended message.
People from all walks of life can enjoy Avatar. If you saw it as a kid, I can guarantee that rewatching it now, you'll find something that you hadn't before. That's the nature of media after all, that how we see it is shaped by our experiences.
So watch it, rewatch it, whether you're 7, 17, or 70, there's something you can take away from Avatar. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Petty, yip yip!
Hooray!